Hello, my name is Keziah Norwood. I'm a content creator for YouTube and Snapchat when I feel like it. I said yes to this podcast the same reason why I do my content, to inspire young mothers to just keep pushing. Because here on social media, there is just so much misconception and unrealistic standards for being a mother. And I just want to show not only the reality of being a mother, but being a mother in this day and age, there's so many resources to get so much advice from social media, but there's also a group of hate, a group of judgment, a group of unrealistic standards. Social media is just the highlights of life, and a lot of times it's staged. So as a mother, do not let social media set your standard of being a mother and dictate how good of a mother you are. As long as you're trying your best, you are a good mother. Don't ever forget about you. Your child deserves a happy mother. God bless.
Hey family, welcome back to the Ideal Woman Show. I am your host, Coach Bree, and here we talk real growth, real journeys, and how to become the best versions of ourselves one step at a time. So let's begin this journey, because today I am joined by someone who is a walking definition of real. She is that mom friend that say what everybody else is thinking but won't say it. She's real, she's funny, a little chaotic in the most best possible way ever. And on top of that, she's a mother. She's a YouTuber, an entrepreneur, and a woman of God. So without further ado, y'all, give a warm welcome to Keziah.
Hello. Hello.
Hey girl, hey.
Hey.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling nervous, but I'm excited. This crazy, This is nice.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Yeah. I'm excited to have you on. What you do on YouTube is beyond inspiration, and I say that because you have helped me in my low place. When I found your YouTube channel, I was pregnant at that time, and I had discovered your channel watching your birth video. And after that, I was like, ooh, okay, let me just subscribe and start following. And from there, I've been following you since. And so I'm the one that should be nervous, because I can't be in fan mode right now. I can't. But yes, if you have seen by the title, y'all, of this episode, y'all already know this finna be unfiltered, finna be raw, and we finna be very transparent about her experience and a little bit of mine, and hopefully it will resonate with one of y'all and let y'all know that y'all are not alone, and that we will be a walking example of, hey, I can get through on the other side. So, Miss Keziah, let's start off with, let's just rewind first. Let's start from the beginning, and then we'll work our way down to now. So, first and foremost, simple question. Who were you before motherhood?
I've always been a businesswoman. I just be about my business. Like, even when I was younger, I already knew I didn't want to go to college. All I needed was a couple business courses online, maybe some little self-improvement books, and I'd be good, run my business. And I just always knew that's what I was going to do. So that's all I would do, just work on like ingredients for hair products, or typing up a business plan, or reading a book or something like that, or working on YouTube. And that's literally all I'll be doing, handling business. Trying to get successful,
Okay, I like that. So you were focused on hustling, focused on getting to the bag, focused on success, whatever what you were trying to manifest in that time of life. So between that, and finding out that you were pregnant, was that the plan when you got pregnant at that time?
No.
No.
Not at all. Actually, I love my son with everything in me, and I truly do think he's a blessing, and I'm so glad that I decided to do what I did. But what happened was when I did find out I was pregnant, I actually didn't plan on going through with it because it just was not in the plan at all. But I was actually told that, that there was a rare opportunity that I would have him. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to mess up a crazy blessing or nothing like that. This might be my only
Wow.
opportunity to have a baby or something like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have him. And then I found out that it was actually a lie because I don't like telling nobody business, but it just was a lie. So I really,
Uh-uh.
yeah, I was upset. I was upset because I was like, dang, I'm thinking it's a miracle baby. And he wasn't. And he was just lying to make me keep the baby so he could, But I'm so glad that I did decide to keep him. And honestly, when I did decide to keep him, and I was in college getting my business degree, and I ended up having to drop out of college because I'm trying to find a job. I didn't have much help financially, so I was just trying to find a job, and that was right after some crazy stuff in Texas, and I got arrested, had a felony on my record. I didn't do nothing to deserve it, okay? I'm not a felon, but we beat the charge. But it was on my record, so I couldn't get a job. So I'm just spending all my time trying to hustle up some money so I can get some stuff for my baby. And it really just threw me all the way off course. Like, I was honestly in a rut, very disappointed for a while, just screaming, crying every day, mental breakdowns every day, and I was just so upset with myself that I let myself slip so bad. And so, oh, it's a fly here. It's getting on my nerves. But and it's two of them. It's two of them. Where did you come from? But anyway, yeah, when I had him and threw me off, and afterwards, that's when my relationship ended, and it was solo dolo, no village. And I'm still trying to figure out a way to make money just for him to get some clothes, Pampers, wipes, all of this. And God made a way. I'm gonna testify. He made a way. I don't know how I was able to get all the stuff that I got for him, and it was really nice stuff. I give him nice shoes and everything. I had him on Instagram. He'd take his pictures, all fitted up. But yeah, we got through it. We got through it.
That is the whole testimony all in one. And some of the stuff you had mentioned just now, you've actually explained on your channel. So for those who may be curious, y'all can go check out her channel and see what that was all about. So okay, so let's just kind of stop in the middle of that, because we just dissected who you were before motherhood, and then kind of the transition into finding out that you were becoming a mom and how that all took place. And you kind of started off that conversation of the mental breakdowns and the mental side of that and how you were processing. So let's kind of dissect that a little bit. How were you processing that in that time, especially like between finding out that you couldn't, but then finding out that was a lie, on top of still trying to stabilize your life career wise? Like, how were you processing all of that? How did that journey look like?
Who, you know what? I had two best friends, and in the midst of all that, I lost my two best friends. So it was just me, myself, and my thoughts. And I just, honestly, I don't know. I prayed about it, and God just did what He had to do, like He do every time. And during that time, when up until my year was 3 months, I was just like, God was my only company. Like, I would make sure I'm reading my Bible all the time. I'm getting into work fasting all the time. Like, it was just me and the Lord, and it was the most peaceful time of my life too. All that stuff going on, but that was the most peaceful when I just realized I couldn't get a job, but things were just working out anyway. I was just like, you know what? I'm finna unhandle stress, because you gotta lose your mind, you gotta lose control of your thoughts just to stay sane. You gotta lose your mind to stay sane. You gotta let it go, because trying to figure everything out ain't gonna do nothing but drive you crazy. I know that all too well. You cannot sit there and try to figure everything out. I tell everybody that. You gotta lose your mind, let it go. You gotta stop caring. You gotta stop giving a fuck. You got to. You got to, or you gonna drive yourself crazy. So I just stopped caring, and I just was doing what I could, and it just worked out. It all worked out.
Uh, and that's easier said than done. Cause, and I'm speaking for myself because you said that like that was easy. No, like speaking for myself, trying to get out of my head, because I'm that type. I sit and I will waddle in it and I'll replay it in my head and replay it in my head. And it's kind of like you said, like you gotta get yourself out of that funk of, okay, I'm gonna just let my mind play games on me, let my mind run through it over and over again and waddle in it, and then just give it to God and be like, okay, I'm just gonna bask in your word and just let that be my peace. That's easier said than done.
It's very much easier said than done. But, you know, when I was in high school in around ninth grade, I got diagnosed with depression and anxiety. So, like, and I really had, my childhood probably wasn't as bad as I think. You know, I did have a lot of challenges when I was 8. I got molested by a close family member, and I lost my sister, and it seemed like my family just, you know, fell apart. And I did go through a lot of stuff through my childhood, but like me not handling those emotions correctly, it really made it 10 times worse. And I just been struggling with depression and anxiety my whole life. So like when I had my year, before I had my year in the ninth grade, I did try to kill myself, and it almost worked. But after that, I saw myself as like, you know, I got a new chance at life. I need to do it better. And then when my year came, I did have suicidal thoughts, but I couldn't do nothing about it. So like, you know, the steady crying, and I'm talking about for years and years of just being depressed, being in a slump. And then I got a hold to God for that first time. I was like, that was the only time I got my peace. So like at some point you get so sick of it and you can't do nothing about it. You got to be a mother, and it's not like they got anybody else but you, because at the time his daddy wasn't, you know, we done came a long way. His daddy got him now, but at the time he wasn't as active. And right, yeah. Yes. But at the time he wasn't as active, so like my baby had nobody but me. So I really had no choice but to just deal with it. And you either gonna hold on to it or you gonna let it go. And holding on to it, I've been doing that my whole life. It ain't been working out, so I just let it go. And I got a taste of God, and it just brought so much peace. I just kept on. Why, if it ain't broke, why fix it? And it was just so much peace after that. And it was once you feel that relief and peace after so much, you know, depression and anxiety, it ain't gonna be nothing to keep on going. Like, it's hard to let go that first time, but once you do it and you see what it's like, it's gonna be no problem.
So that's a powerful statement, because okay, and so would you say that was the only thing that helped you get parts of yourself back, like by getting in your word and really just allowing God's presence, to his peace, to just overpass everything that you were dealing with? Was that the main and only thing that helped you get parts of you back at that time?
You know what? I don't even think that I just got a part of me back, but whatever was going on, it stilled it, you know? And that was just from being intentional when reading my Bible, like I'm actually looking for some way to make my life more righteous. And I'm praying and I'm fasting with real intention, not just doing it for a trend or doing it just to broadcast it, but like actually really having intention and doing it. And with that, it was just like It was peace. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it was just, I'm really trying to get back to that. I've been slacking, but that was the only thing that really got me there, and it pushed me, helped me to be a better mother, because all that stuff that was going on, I was still able to instill so much love in my ear. Everybody tell me all the time, and I'm just so happy. They say you could tell he was loved. You could tell he's a loved baby. He's so happy, and he just somebody that told me love is all he know, because he just so sweet to everybody. He kiss on everybody, hug on everybody. He's just so full of love, and that's because of the Lord.
Hey, that's a we laugh about it now, but that's actually a true statement. Like, your kids really are a product of you, of the parents, and what you instill in them, what they see on a daily basis, especially with him just having you at that time of life. And it's like, you may be feeling like you're doing a shitty job, excuse my language, but you may be feeling like you're doing a shitty job, but then you look at your kid, and your kid is literally a walking example of how well you really are doing. And sometimes I think we can overlook that because of our personal things that we got going on, mental battles, spiritual battles, and then still trying to find like stability in life. Like, I think that's a good statement to kind of leave off on. Of, man, let me just look at my kid for a second and how he carries himself, how he treats other people. Clearly, I'm doing something right. Like,
Right.
clearly,
Clearly, it's
you
working
know,
out.
working. And okay, oh my gosh, this is good. So let's go a little bit deeper. Let's go a little bit deeper, because like you said, you were still going, you were having those thoughts here and there, and but was still striving. But in the midst of that, you are still uploading and recording on YouTube as well, sharing your journey. What what was that like for you? Like, how did you get, let me just say this, that's a level of strength, okay, to be able to remain authentic, remain real, and share it for others to see, not to judge you, but to see, okay, well, she's going through what I'm going through, but she has a level of strength and boldness to show that, and to share her experience with the world. What the heck? I need to know what was going through your mind in that moment, to have that level of strength to go through that, in the midst of that, having mental breakdowns, and have that level of boldness to say, you know what, I'm still gonna do what I know I'm called to do, what I'm passionate in doing. Explain,
Because you
please.
know what? I always say this. First of all, I would not blame my baby for me not accomplishing my goals. It don't matter if I had him or not. I should still be able to accomplish my goal. I'm not gonna put that on my baby. Yes, T. And second of all, I what really helped was I wasn't getting that many views anyway. So I was like, you know what? Ain't that many people gonna see it, and by the time enough people see it, I've been out where I'm trying to go, and they gonna see, oh, she started from the bottom, but you met me at the top. So, I know it ain't that many eyes on me right now. So like, by the time I do get my life together, they can go through and see, dang, she been through a lot. But as I'm going through it, ain't nobody looking at it right now. So, it's, you know what, it's a group of people, and I love my subscribers because they don't never judge me at all. I love y'all so much. And the comments just be encouraging me. I be wanting to give up because I be like, you know what, I've been doing this for so long, but it just don't seem like I'm at where I want to be. But then I get them comments and stuff, and it just make my day so much. I can't, every Sunday I'll be ready for the next video to upload, because I be like, ooh, I can't wait to respond to comments. Because the only friends I got are in those comments. And so, like, I got them, but, like, that's just like a close knit. I'm not in the spotlight. I'm not on TMZ and vlogs, and my business not all in everybody's phone screens. It's just us. It's just us. It's safe between us. It's a safe place.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's
I
y'all.
love
Y'all the reason why my subscribers, my supporters are the reason why I feel so comfortable putting it on the internet. Because y'all don't judge.
I mean, the people that do judge can suck it, because at the end of the day, they flawed too. So, girl, And okay, that's good because hearing you say that is inspiring to me because sometimes I can lose sight of the end goal or because I'm so focused on what's happening right now. And you just explained like you was just focused on the end goal. Like people, like you said, people seeing you when you are here at the top now, but little do they know you started from like like low and
The
just gradually
trenches.
working up. And so that was your push. That was your motivation. Like I'm not even getting that many views right now, and when I do get them, they gonna realize who I am now.
Yeah,
They gonna see the aftermath of everything.
right.
Goodness. So that's your encouragement today. Just focus on the big picture, the end goal. That's the
The bigger
encouragement.
picture.
The bigger picture.
Focus on your
Okay.
results.
Huh. Okay. 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 And we heard that. So now let's talk about today's time because there's a lot from the past that we can kind of dissect, but I want to kind of go into today's time as well of some of the things that we don't really talk about. Or people will, how do you say, they will stage the good things, but they don't usually feel confident or comfortable displaying the real struggles, things that people don't talk about because like you said, we have people out there, there's a group of the social media side that just judge and just feel like you got to be a perfect parent. If you don't do things a certain way, it's like, oh, you just a terrible mom or a terrible dad. So let's kind of dissect that and start talking about some unfiltered things real quick. With the basic one, what's one thing that you struggle with, or what's one invisible thing you carry daily that no one talks about?
You know what? I have to stop this thought coming a lot of times. A lot of times when I'm doing stuff, and like I said, I love Bubba, and he's just a kid being a kid, and I can't be mad at my baby being a baby. But sometimes with me being so busy, I just be thinking, it would just be, this would be a lot easier if I didn't have him right now. Like if I had a babysitter right now, it would be a lot easier if he
Uh-huh.
wasn't,
Uh-huh.
if I didn't have to deal with this right now. And a lot of times, like when I just be wanting to do certain things, there's just a few aspects in my life where sometimes I just think it would just be a little bit easier if I didn't have a kid. But I'm grateful for my baby. I'm so grateful for my
Hmm.
baby. I love my baby. He gives me a sense of joy and happiness that can't nothing else give me. But, you know, sometimes in life it would be nice to have a babysitter or, you know.
I know. That's why I'm laughing because I wasn't expecting you to say that, but that's something that I have yet to talk about or been with anybody other than my therapist. And I would tell her like I would have moments where, and I love my child. I wouldn't trade her for the world. I don't regret having her or anything. And it's sad that we have to make that statement before we go into what we want to talk
Yeah.
about. But that's the truth. But and I do. So y'all don't be on here thinking that I don't love my baby because I do, and vice versa.
Right.
But it's the same thing. And I've told my therapist, I was like, man, sometimes I have those moments of, man, I really wish like I wasn't doing what I was doing that led me to have a kid because life would be so much easier. Like, man,
Yes.
I had moments where like, man, like had I just waited a little bit longer and finished school, like, man, I'd be all right now, at least financially, or man, like I really just want to get out the house and clear my mind, but I can't do that. I got a kid and
Right.
it's
Like
late
I,
at
I would
night. I
I would
can't.
have loved to have this baby maybe in like the same exact baby, but just maybe a little bit later. I love him, but just maybe a little bit later after I got myself together would have been nice.
Hmm, and I don't think that's a bad thing. And my therapist was like, no, that's normal. That's okay. And even married couples that have kids be sometimes thinking the same thing. But I don't know why. Like we said today, that's like a negative thing, or we judged as bad parents because, or we get judged like you shouldn't have even had a kid at all. And like for me, I'd be like, okay, well, keep that in mind when you want to complain about your job, because the job didn't ask for you. You asked for the job. You went and applied, and you went to that interview. And so don't be complaining to me about your boss that you don't like, or don't be complaining to me about the hours you got to work, because why? You asked for that job. And that's the type of mentality I have
That's the
now
same concept.
with, yeah. And it's like that's what I think now when people try to say, well, you shouldn't have had a kid, or where you shouldn't have. Oh, okay, cool. All right, cool. But then I
And
think like,
I
all
just
right, but
saw
what you
something
doing?
on social media like that where if somebody commented, I think some girl posted some video about wanting a break from her child. And somebody commented, well, you shouldn't have had kids. That's being a mother. But it's like, dang, you can't be nothing else? Like, I can't get a break? No 15
No,
minute
not in
lunch
today's world.
break?
Not in
Like,
today's world.
dang. And
In
it
today's
and
world, once you
everybody
have a
say it
kid, you
takes a
gotta.
village. What is the village doing if they not babysitting? I'm getting bashed for wanting a babysitter, but what the village for?
But that's literally the issues of today, and it's usually from people who don't even have kids. So it's like, why are you putting your input in? You don't even have kids. Like, let's see how your mentality after you have your kid, and then let's see if we can relate. Then it's like, okay, and it's usually those people that haven't experienced it on the outside looking in, and have their traditional mindsets of, well, my opinion, right? And that's all
Right.
it is, opinion. Can you share a moment when you felt mentally tapped out?
You know what? You probably remember this. You probably gonna know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
When I was married and we broke up, and I didn't have no way of paying bills because we had broke up before he moved out, but it was a situation happened where it was a little violent and aggressive, so I had to kick him out. And I didn't have no way of paying bills. I didn't have no, like, it was a point I called my mama, I'm crying. I was like, Mama, I don't know what I was supposed to do. Like, just keep letting him do me like that. But, like, I don't know where I'm going. Like, the bills, I don't know where our next meal gonna come from. And she was just telling me, calm down. I'm not gonna let you start. She was always a pillar in that area. But it was this one time where I picked up my year from his granny house and I put it in the driveway. And she said, I brought the rest of the Pampers he had over there when I dropped them off. And I dropped them off for a little while so I could go try to find a job to do to try to come up with some bill money. And so then I pulled up into the parking lot, and I'm just here thinking. She told me his pamper was wet. He don't have any Pampers left. I don't have any money to go get no Pampers. I don't have any wipes. We don't have any food in the fridge. When he wake up, we ain't gonna have nothing to eat. The lights turned off. The rent, I don't have any rent money. And I'm trying not to cry. But I called, it was a family friend. I called him. I said, can you keep my ear for a while until I get back on my feet and da. And he called me back. He was like, yeah, I can talk to my wife about it, da. But he asked me, he was like, but what's going on? We can do it, but what's going on? And I told him, like, I don't have nothing, and Bubba gonna wake up and ain't gonna have nothing to wake up to. And he asked me where I was, because I started driving to the police station because I was gonna give him up for adoption. But then I thought about calling him, and he asked me where was I, and I said I'm driving to the police station. And he said, why are you driving to the police station? Because I said I was going to give my ear up for adoption. And he said, no, you need to stop. You need to think. And what I was finna do was give my ear up to somebody. It was adoption, but I didn't trust adoption, so that's why I called him. I was finna give him up, and I was finna go kill myself. But when he asked me what was going on, I told him, I ain't had no money for none of this stuff. He paid for my light bill, and he took me to Walmart, and he got me some Pampers, wipes, and food for the next 2 weeks. And then I talked to the front office, and they was able to let me pay my rent late. And within an hour, everything was figured out.
My Lord.
Yeah.
My Lord.
I don't think I vlogged that, but
You didn't vlog it. You talked a little bit about it, but you didn't go details. You didn't go
yeah.
details. Oh my gosh. That that's deep. That's heavy. Like I literally feel that right now. Oh my gosh. And so in that moment that you were literally mentally tapped out, you was making this decision, and that couldn't have been an easy decision, like to say, okay, I'm gonna give my child away because I'm failing right now. I can't
Oh
see
no,
no
the
way out
steering
of
wheel
this.
felt
Like
me. The steering wheel felt me. I was in the car beating the steering wheel so hard, kicking, screaming at the I was screaming at God so hard. I was like, I don't do nothing but love people. I don't do nothing but give out positive energy. I look out for people. I put myself in jeopardy looking out for other people, and I try my best to be righteous, And you going to do this to me, really? I don't even
yeah.
have any options. I can't even take care of my own baby, and I work so hard for what, I was upset. I was sad. I was disappointed. I was kicking and screaming, and
That's but
punching.
but that's enough to send somebody over the edge. And that's coming from someone with experience. And so and I remember his name. I'm not gonna say his name, but I remember him and in your videos, and I could kind of tell like the vibes were just kind of like a little iffy and whatnot and stuff. And so how let's talk about that, because that's another unfiltered that no one talks about, especially this is catering to the single parents right now, whether you're a single dad or a single mom watching. The dating world is totally, if dating in general is just difficult in today's time, but dating with a kid is like 100 times worse. It's a
For
hundred
sure.
times worse because you have to, especially in that time, because my situation was different. I didn't end up married with the individual I was with after I had my child, but you were actually married, and he was in the house with y'all. Y'all were actually building a home together. And so how was that healing stage and you being able to process, because now it's not just you that you have to heal. Now that's your baby, my ear, that's got to get
Yeah.
unattached from that bond,
Yeah.
from seeing this person on a regular, on top of now you got to figure out how you're going to pay rent. Now you was almost about to give your baby up. Like, can you please just you whatever you comfortable with, but how were you able to process that and heal? What was your tactic, your healing methods?
Well, I, you know what? when 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 everything was falling apart in our relationship, he started leaving the house without so he'd just leave for most of the day, and then he'd be at work all the time. So my year was already seeing less and less of him as time went on. And then, like, when we was in the house together, he was always on the game anyway, or like in his own zone. So my year would just always stick with me, and we'd probably be in another room working on a project or something. So he was already just stuck under me and used to me, and wasn't seeing him a lot anyway. And
Okay.
I communicate with him. I let him know that he gone, he not coming back, and you know what I'm saying. I let him know, but we got this thing where, so he loved fruit, and I done taught him how to pick out good fruit. So when he see like a ugly spot or a soft spot, he know this ain't no good, and he throw it away. So we got this thing where when we gotta cut people out, I tell him they ain't no good. You gotta throw them away. And he know when somebody ain't no good, you stay away, you
Mhm.
discard of it, other way. When something no good, it ain't no good. So we got
Right.
that thing where when I tell him like, he's gone for good, he ain't come back, he ain't
Yeah.
no good, he was all right. And he didn't have no stage where he was acting out or weird behavior or nothing. Like, he
I
just
love that.
still remains a sweet, innocent, sometimes rough, chaotic my year, you know. And with me, I was so focused on bills, I didn't really just focus on it. But when the bills got handled and I was going around with my nonprofit and using my nonprofit as my way of income and everything, and I was doing hair and I was still getting help, it was just like when I had a moment and I realized, okay, everything gonna be okay. That's when I started thinking like, but now I got this new norm where now I gotta manage bills. I don't even remember how to pay bills. I never pay bills. So I need to figure out how I'm finna manage making enough money every month for these recurring bills and also having time for my year and taking care of my year. Mind you, I couldn't find a job. So I'm coming up with $750 rent. I'm trying to do hair and just weird jobs like mowing somebody's yard, cleaning somebody's house or something. And then there's also like a $100 and some light bill. And then we got the groceries. I tried food stamps, and food stamps was playing. I don't know why they don't help those in need, but they don't. They help those who are not in need, who be lying on the application.
Yeah.
So I'm having to come up with all these bills now and also have my year full time. And that's when I remember I was at a stop sign and I just broke down and I was just thinking like, dang, I really miss my husband because I didn't have to worry about all this. It wasn't this stressful. At least I could be at the house. And that's when I figured, that's when I started thinking like, maybe I overreacted, even though it was, you know, it was cheating involved, which is a no-go, but still like, I was just like, maybe I should have just let it go or something, or maybe I should have just, because I hated it. And then I had to get a job. I hated working. I just missed staying at the house. And that was, it sounds bad, but that's the only kind of grieving I had. But other than that, before I let go of a relationship, I'm already falling out of love before I let you go. So when I let you go, just know I'm done. It's over with. So it just, other than missing how easy it was, then I really didn't go through no kind of grieving process or just healing process. Or life just went on. I'm probably going to regret it later on in life, but life just went on.
Why you say regret? And I asked that because as you were explaining, that's a normal stage, especially after getting over someone or just after getting used to not having that person around and whatever area you were comfortable with them being in your life. But at the end of the day, just some of the things that you went through was traumatic. If you really want to acknowledge that's a traumatic experience. So for you to have the heart to sit up here and say, well, I probably overreacted or whatnot and yada yada, is kind of like bothering me a little bit. What you mean?
Because I just like, I don't know. I was told that I was dramatic my whole life. Anytime it came to me expressing my feelings, and I know that's just a trauma response, I'm always thinking I'm being dramatic when I'm really just expressing my feelings. And I'm learning to respect myself and respect my feelings and let them, validate my feelings. It's okay to feel how I feel. But at the time, I was just like, everybody gonna cheat. So maybe I should have let it go because I didn't want to pay bills. That was it. I was just being lazy. Had a lazy mindset. I wanted it to be easier, which it wasn't easy, but it was easier. And I just wanted that. It was familiar and comfortable, and that's what I wanted back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's a yeah. Yeah, that easy, that familiar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because when it's of God, it's not gonna be easy and familiar. It's gonna make you uncomfortable. So when you comfortable with the old, that's just all you know. Okay, I understand that, but that's things you gotta unlearn because, like I said, the dating world for single parents is a lot different because you're inviting someone in. That's another set of influence on your child's life, and y'all have to make sure that y'all are aligned. just think about it now. That was probably God's way of saving you, because just think about it now. You are raising a young man, a black man at that, in today's world. And you gotta be, because I have a little girl, and it's similar, but it's a little different, because raising them, how you raise a man is different from how you raise a woman in this world. And when you bring in another man in your life, he plays a major role for your son of how a man should be in this world, a black man at that. And so that's something that I believe that God really saved you from, because that's not something that you want your child growing up thinking is normal or okay to do, because that's what he saw growing up. I saw mommy hurt. I saw mommy, taking these punches,
Right.
taking these, taking this disrespect, love,
And you want to know
So
something?
that's,
You know how like I at the end of the relationship I was kind of over the relationship. So like it was a mutual agreement. It's gonna sound so bad, but this was a mutual agreement between us. I was just gonna get a job, get on my feet, and then let him go. That's when he was supposed to be moving out. But it just happened all too fast. So when I couldn't get a job, I'm like, you weren't supposed to move out this, like everything wasn't supposed to move that fast. So the plan was already going to be I was going to have to get a job and pay bills and be a single mother, and I had accepted that fact. But the fact that I couldn't get a job is what. But you know what? That just show you how God worked, honestly, because that's what He liked to do in my life. He liked to put me in a position where on paper it looked like I ain't got nothing going. Like on paper, it's the worst situation ever. But in real life, we getting through it. Like any other time, a person would have to have a job to be able to maintain rent and lights and groceries, and then I got to get Bubba all his stuff, and I'm taking care of him by myself, mind you. So. Yeah. It's like if you don't have a job, you SOL. But I didn't have a job. I didn't have what people say you have to have. But yet I still made it through. And He put me in a position where I literally can't say it wasn't nobody but God. Because had I had a job, because I had a job and I worked hard. That's why everything worked out. I don't know how. I couldn't even explain it to you. Because cleaning up a couple rooms and just selling a few things, that shouldn't have equaled my rent, but yet my rent got paid. My lights got paid. We had groceries. Bubba got everything he needed and everything he wanted. And I couldn't tell you how, but nobody but God. And that's the way He do stuff. He make it to where it look like it's no way out. So when you make it out, you can't say it wasn't nobody. He get all the glory. You can't say it wasn't you. You wasn't making no money. I know I wasn't. Broke.
I love this. And we are actually seeing that, and that's why I had to bring you on to season 2, because you are literally a walking example. A lot of people can come on here, experts, and they can say, "Hey, this is what I've experienced. I've had clients come in, and I've had to help them through it." But it hits different when you have someone who's actually living through it, getting through it, and is actually getting on the other side and is sharing that experience for people to really relate to and take it from someone who's actually been through it. So what is some of the things that you like? How do you check in with yourself now? Because like you said, you're doing it by yourself. You are paying bills. You got a son to take care of. How do you check in on Keziah? How do you maintain yourself outside of your responsibilities?
Well, right now, see what happened was my life done did a whole 360. This is why I love the Lord. He funny, he petty. So, I had a job. And at my job, I met a man, right? And we get in a relationship, and long story short, we ended up in a relationship. But we working together. But I'm at an all-man job. I don't know if you remember, but I was at an all-man job. Blue-collar job. Yeah, blue-collar job, working with all men. I'm on a forklift and everything. So when everybody else, as you can imagine, men being men, I got a lot of inappropriate comments and all that kind of thing. People, they saw a girl and they just went lustful. And so when they found out that I was with my man, they got jealous. And it's going to sound like BS, but I promise, you can ask anybody. They got me fired. They planned it. They planned it out, and they got me fired. Because I was a really good worker. And what happened was they told me, they be telling people to do jobs, and they told me that a job needed to be done, but they didn't tell me the details. But they told me to wait because they didn't need it till a later date. And they came, the boss man came up to me the next day. So petty. The boss man came up to me the next day talking about some, you ain't do your job. What are you? I'm like, wait a minute. And I got fired that day. Yes. And so when I got fired, I went to my man. And I told my man on him. And he said, you know what, baby? It's all right. I got you. And he been paying my bills since then. But you know what? When I was working that job, the way that job set up, he be sending me pictures every day of snakes and big spiders, and I'm just so glad that I don't. So the Lord was low-key saving me because it done got hot outside. He was low-key saving me because he knew I wasn't going to last anyway. And then on top of that, I was saying before then, I was like, you know what? Because my ex was still trying to get back with me. And so I was like, you know what? I might just take him back so I ain't got to pay no more bills. I'm sick of bills. I told you I was sick of bills. But then, you know, I was praying. I was telling the Lord, like, Lord, I don't like this season. I'm ready to be at home with my son again. I'm ready to do what I used to do, focus on YouTube, you know, get back to working my actual goals. And yeah, I got fired within that week, and my man said he was going to pay all my bills, and he been doing that. And you know what? I know they sound crazy, but I actually, you know, it's something don't nobody else know. I haven't told nobody. I haven't went public, but I am pregnant. I am 5 months pregnant. And so, like, we've been, yeah.
Get out of here!
Yeah, we've been.
Oh my God!
We've been like, you know, yeah, we've been like, life been good.
You can't just do that. You cannot just do that and go back to. Okay, all right. I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, you can continue.
Okay. I'm just saying, like,
that
we're
was
just. I'm just saying, like, I'm just at a place in life now where it just, I'm soft again. Life is good again. I'm able to focus on my career goals, and it's going good. I'm in a healthy relationship. Yeah. He taking care of me. I'm taking care of him. Yeah. And it's good right now.
Talk about he gonna prepare a table. So now he gotta watch another man do what he couldn't. Okay, I had to cut a shot on that. I'm sorry. You kind of snatched my edges with that one. Okay. All right. We gonna move forward. But congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. So we gonna move forward because I'm gonna wait till you post that, and I'm gonna be the first one in the comments like, ah! Okay. So let's talk about the support system because we finna get into the end of this episode and kind of get some encouragement for the people from you. But I wanted to kind of ask a question back on the support system because, like you said, in that moment when you were mentally tapped out and you were about to give Maya away to someone who could cater better to him at that time of your life than you could and whatnot, the support system and how they support it is something we got to discuss because we talk about support system all the time, and support system isn't always babysitting. Of course, we need our own time to kind of breathe, do what we need to do, focus on ourselves, enjoy life outside of parenthood. But that's another form of a village right there, being a village for you in time of need. The fact that he helped you with your bills at that time, paid more than enough for y'all to eat for a few weeks. What kind of support system do you wish every parent had that is not easy to have or find nowadays?
First of all, time. Because with me, I'm a businesswoman. At the end of the day, I can make the money. Financial help would be a good part of that village, but time so I can go make that money is even better. But then
Yeah.
also financial help, because at the end of the day, you didn't make the baby by yourself. And I'm not saying everybody should be responsible for that, but at least the two parents should be responsible for that. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's just normal for the whole family to just pitch in with the baby. And other than that, I really just time and money. That's the village you need. People who can help you out with even if it ain't just money, you can give somebody like, I don't know, maybe hand me some Pampers. You never know if I need some Pampers or some wipes, or
Yeah.
my mama like to give Bubba clothes every now and again. Every time she go out, she coming back with some cute outfit for them to match in and to go to church in. So
Not for them to match. She be leaving you out in the outfit.
yes, she like them to match Granny. Granny be matching all the grandkids, and the mama of the grandkids just got to figure out something you either blend in or you don't. Find something in your
So I'm not the only
closet.
one. Got it. Got it.
She be wanting us there to babysit, but she gon' match them. She want to match.
Okay. And I agree with that for sure, because it's like you said, you didn't make the baby by yourself. The least you can do is help out financially. Even if you didn't want anything to do with your kid, you can still help out where help is needed and whatnot. And I totally agree with that. And then time. I'm a businesswoman myself, so I wholeheartedly agree with that. Time. I need time to. And for me, I'm an overthinker, so I'm always thinking like, okay, if I can't find somebody to watch my child and I have a business meeting, how can I still be professional with a child? In this meeting, that's still learning, emotional intelligence, still learning. Hey, mommy not mad at you, but mommy needs you to be quiet, sit in this room,
Right.
and let me get us somewhere. And so I understand that wholeheartedly, and I think that's a support system that is hard to have nowadays. But if you have that, take full advantage. Take full advantage.
I see a
you're
lot of
at.
people. I see a lot of people around me. I'm not gonna say their names, say their business, but it seems like the people who do have that support take so much advantage of it, like, but in a bad way. Because, like, I know somebody. They say, "Oh, I'm finna go to Texas, or I'm finna go to I don't know, just out the state. I'm finna go somewhere and I'm finna stay there for as long as I want to." And they be having a babysitter. Like, I know so many people. I done heard stories where the mama be gone. They're like, where they at? Oh, they gone on the trip. And how long they been gone? I don't know. Or they just be gone and be able to do stuff. And like my sister, for example, my sister have a really good, her co-parenting relationship. I don't think she mind me saying this, but her co-parenting relationship with her baby father is so well. Like, he's so active and he's there, and it just, I'm not saying she take advantage of it, but it just like people don't realize how much of a blessing that is. Like, it's supposed to be normal, but in this day and age, it's not normal at all. Like, that's a blessing to have that. And I've seen people have that, and they be having like grandparents and cousins and aunties and designated babysitter to drop them off at. And you drop them off just to go do whatever, or you steady having somebody with your kid, and you going out to parties or going out to just do whatever. And I be like, dang, I wish I could have it for my business. I be trying to do business, and I don't have it. And it's a lot of people who don't have that, who really actually need that. And the people who do have that take advantage of it. And it just seemed like you don't want to be envious, but it's like, dang, how you going to give it to somebody who ain't going to use it right? But I'm sitting here struggling.
Right.
And I'm trying to do right.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm trying to use it for beneficial things. Y'all just living life right now. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. For real. And I'm not just saying that because I'm not a club person. I'm really, 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 really not. I don't ask me to come because if I come, I'm coming to support you, and I'm out the door. I'm out the door. And so, but I
Hug in the
see that and I be
wall.
like, oh my gosh, like you got 3 kids. How you got time to go out here and shake your butt? No.
Like, dang, I be begging for a babysitter to do a business meeting, and you what? How that work?
I don't know. But it's cool. It's cool because we still thugging it through. Okay,
We
I got a
still
quick question.
thugging it through.
I got a quick question. Or I have a sentence. I want you to finish it. Okay. So I love my kid, but
I love my kid, but damn, boy, you bad. He's a lot. You can be a lot sometimes, son. Calm down sometimes, son. That's really it. I love my baby. He a sweetheart, and he's just a sweetheart. But sometimes when I got stuff to do, with him being the only one here, thank God, not for long, but with him being the only one here, I'm his only source of entertainment. So it's like he's not in daycare or nothing. So he done got better with coming in here and playing with himself and playing with his toys and all of that and entertaining himself real good. And I bought him some chalk. He liked to draw. I done caught him reading a few times. But it's definitely gotten a lot better, but there's still some times, and it was way worse before, when I be trying to do something and he all up under me. He's very needy, or crying for something, and he want me to play with him, but mama got money to make. Okay, mama can't find a babysitter, but mama still gonna make this money right now, and I be doing hair, and he be over there, messing with my clients sometimes, trying to. Like, it just be times like that where I can't be as professional as I want to, or I can't really just get my work done like I want to, because I still have to bond with my child and entertain my child, because I can't get mad. He the only one here. What he gonna do, sit at the wall and stare at the wall or something? You know what I'm saying? So I can't get mad at him for wanting to play with me, but at the same time, I be getting busy. But he really like Llama Llama. What really helped is he liked the Llama Llama series, and the first book he read was Llama Llama Red Pajama. And it's a part in there where she said, sometimes mama's very busy, and then she said, be patient with your mama. So, like, throughout the day, a lot of times I tell him, sometimes mama's very busy, and he understand that, because, from the book. And so then he be like, okay, be patient with your mama. And I say, yeah, be patient with your mama. And we get that from Llama Llama, because he love that book, but it worked.
I might steal that. Thank you for that. Because my baby girl, she's understanding now. She's getting used to seeing mom always working, because I work from home, and I when I'm off work, I'm instantly working. I'm editing. I'm setting up some meetings and stuff, and so it's constant seeing mommy work. So she's finally getting used to seeing mom work and getting used to playing with her toys. And I've upgraded some of her toys, so it's not so babyfied, and she's not bored with the same stuff every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I might have to steal that and get some Mama Llama book lava, whatever them names is, and try to get some of that understanding. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, I talk to him a lot through his books. When we read, he loves reading, so when we be reading our books and it's something going on in life where it can relate to his books, is when I say them little lines, he instantly calm down, and it's all fun and games, and it's, he's understanding, because he love them books. He love them books.
Okay, you just gave me a little nugget I can come home with. Cool. Okay, so let's close this out with you reclaiming yourself. You reclaiming Keziah. Because we've already unpacked some of the chaos, and if y'all want more details, all you got to do is go check out her YouTube channel. She's gonna shout it out at the end of this episode. But you know, so we already know parts of your story and how you've came so far. And so, first question, what does it mean to be more than just a mom? What does that mean to you, and what does that look like?
Oh, that's a hard question. I've been dreading that question because I don't know. Like, I'm still at a point where I'm still trying to figure out how to balance entrepreneurship and motherhood. And then I also have a partner, and he has 2 kids. And, you know, I'm trying to balance all that out. Like, I usually don't have time for myself. I have started back reading. And we were just talking about this morning that I need to keep doing stuff to cater to myself. But
Yeah.
I've been reading. I be shouting out my reading collection or whatever on my YouTube, and I be sharing my little reads. I love my little reads. And I used to crochet. When my granny in Texas, she passed away, she taught me how to crochet, and I still kind of remember, and I really want to get back into crocheting. So I really just feel like finding hobbies and just getting
Yeah.
back to that inner child that's not attached to all the trauma, not that inner child, but the inner
Yeah.
child who found an outlet, just a nice hobby, something to escape. It
Yeah.
just really, it keeps you grounded, you know? Because when I
Yeah.
read my book, I definitely feel like I got my life together. Because I'm sitting here reading the book. Especially when it's like in the middle of the week, like I get to read my book.
You feeling grown? It's grown people stuff right here.
Grown people stuff, I'm reading a book.
I love that, and I kind of seen that on one of your episodes. I seen that where you were building your patio, and I was like, okay, because I've been dreading to get my patio started up, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna start off small. Go get me a little $14 chair at Walmart and just start sitting out there. So I did that literally this week. And I was like, okay, cool. And I got me some Inyala Vincent books, and I've been wanting to start on that. I haven't gotten into it yet, but I was like, okay, I got me some books. But in the meantime, what else did I used to do growing up that was fun to me, or hobbies that I used to do, like binge watching shows or stuff. But like, I guess for both of us, we might just have to start scheduling that out, like making appointments with ourselves,
Yeah, because
literally.
what I like to do, I get my little notes page, and every week I sit down and I go through the videos that I want to upload on YouTube, and I find time and I put on my notes page, I'm gonna record this day, edit this day, and whatever, and then I put on there my year schedule, so it's gonna be morning routine, straighten up the house, then learning time, then I'm gonna film this, and I'm gonna edit this, and that's how I make my to-do list. And I go through that and I follow that to-do list, and I put on there. I At first it was just a whole lot of momming stuff, entrepreneur stuff, but I made a little section on there where when he wake up from his nap and he done got to wear, especially I done got him this little paint board and stuff like that, get that chalk. I have him go get some unstructured playtime. You go do you, and mommy gonna do
Mhm.
me. It's my time, and I scheduled it out, and we've been doing it. And sometimes it get filled up with work, but it's been a nice thing to incorporate. And that's how I be having my time to read. It be my time to just do whatever I want to do. That's on my to do list. You definitely got to schedule it out.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Now I haven't thought about that. So you're really giving me some nuggets. I'm just downloading as much as I can right now. Cause see, for me, when I schedule only when I know I'm not going to have her. Like every Sundays is my guaranteed days that she'll be with her Gigi, my mama. And so you literally, so y'all could be in the same room, and he could be doing something unstructured, unfiltered, where mommy not gonna watch over you every second. Whatever you want to do it in this area, and then I'm over here in this corner, and I'm gonna do
Mhm.
what mommy want to do. So y'all be
Mhm.
in the same room doing that.
Yeah, like you want to see my living room? Can I show my living room? It's a little
Show the
mess
living
right now.
room for the people.
It's a little mess right now. But he be right here on his little art
Yay!
thing in his room right there. He got his blocks and everything, and I be right here on my little couch, my little section, doing what I want to
Yay!
do, and that's just the way that works. I be over here reading a book, or I guess I'm gonna start crocheting. I bought a sewing machine. I ain't touched since I got it. I guess I'll start doing that.
I mean, okay. Okay. That's a new one for me. Because I think for me, I overthink. Like I said, I'm an overthinker. So I overthink sometimes. Like, okay, what if I get overstimulated because she see me in the room? If I start doing something, catering to me, and I already told her, like, okay, you can go have your fun. It's your section. It's your area. Then I'm going to start getting overstimulated and overwhelmed quickly because now you over here jumping on mama back. And I just said, we in our corners right now. So I
Well,
think,
see, the thing with us, we work from home. We gonna have our kid all the time. So I've learned that I have to do a little bit more to learn how to live with my year instead of just like having him around while I do what I gotta do. And so what I like to do is in the morning time I don't work. In the morning time it's just we gonna do our little brushing our teeth, washing our face. We gonna come in here and cook breakfast, eat. You gonna help me clean up the house because it's probably your mess anyway. And then we do our learning time and then nap time. Now nap time hit, that's when I come into play. Nap time is where I do what I gotta do. 9 times out of 10, the house already clean. We did that together, laundry on whatever. So 9 times out of 10, I'm doing some kind of business work. And when he wake up from his nap, he have his lunch, and that's when he go do whatever he want to do. And since he spent the morning with me, he not gonna be stunning me in the afternoon because he done had his time with mommy. So he's now okay with being away from mommy since he had his time with mommy. And he can still see me. He can still come interact with me. But for the most part, you mind your business and I'm minding mine. So nap time and after that until the night routine, I'm working. And then that's also when my partner come home, I have a little bit of help. He helped me out with him because he be bothering him instead of bothering me. And so I just be working there. Nap time and after that, that's my work time. So I just been splitting my day in half. First half of the day, Bubba time. Second half of the day, that's all me.
okay. All right, that's a new one for me. I'm gonna have to put that to the test and see how that do, see how that work out, and try to make it work to what we got over here around my schedule. But I like that. Okay, so now let's go into these last two questions that of encouragement from you, that you can leave with the people. First one being, what advice would you give to the mom that feels invisible right now?
You know, that resonated with me so much because sometimes I do be feeling invisible, but honestly, I'm still working through that. You just gotta, I guess you gotta learn that you are a person too. You know, you have to be somebody. You can't. Your child deserves a person, not no mother robot, not no money robot, not no money machine. Your child needs a person. So you have to be a person, or you be a person by you have to have time. That's where the village come in at. You have to have time away from your child, time away from work. And what would you do with yourself if you had time to just sit with yourself? It was just you. What would you do? If you never had a child, if you never got a job, what would you be doing right now? You know, without the stress of bills and all that. What would you be doing right now?
Yeah.
You want to go on a trip? You want to, I don't know, go read like what I like to do? or something. You know what I'm saying? That's where hobbies come in at. If you feel invisible, 9 times out of 10 is because you're not catering to your person. So you just start catering to your person. Ask yourself, who are you? If you weren't a mother, if you weren't an employee, if you weren't a wife, what would you be doing right now?
Cater to your person. I like that you were, first of all, transparent about where you are in that question of, still living through it, still figuring that out, but I like catering to your person. I like that a lot. What last question here, and we're gonna wrap it up. But what is something that you would leave to all the parents out there? What is one piece of encouragement or hope that you could give them?
Life goes on. You're going to be somewhere in 5 years. So everything is a choice. You're going to choose to be in the same spot in 5 years, or you're going to choose to get up and stop crying about it and do something about it. But life going to keep going, and you're going to be somewhere in 5 years. So make up your mind where you want to be in 5 years. That's what been keeping me going. Life going to keep on going, and you got to be somewhere.
Yes, ma'am. All right. And we heard. Miss Keziah, you were absolutely amazing today. I wish we could talk for another hour because it's so easy talking to you, and it's because you're so open about your journey and your story. And it's not just helping. I hope it's helping someone out there that's watching right now. I know it is, but it's helping me too. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your transparency. Thank you for your heart and for your consistency and being willing to come onto the Ideal Woman show today. You don't know how happy you have made me, ma'am.
You don't know how honored I feel. I've been telling my whole family about this. They was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Right, I'm so excited!" I just been feeling like this opportunity has really made me see how much I done grown. Like I really can look over the growth when I'm so busy focused on the end result. It's good to focus on the end result, but when you get fixated on it, where you don't see the growth. And like this has really been invited on a podcast and everything. This has really, and you just expressing like your support and love for my channel. Like that's just crazy to me. And it just really, it helps me see that I'm not going nowhere. You know, I'm not just staying in one spot. I'm not being stagnant.
Please don't.
I'm going somewhere.
Yes, ma'am. And you better speak that into existence. Please let the people know how they can find you, where they can follow your story, your journey. Where can they support you?
On my YouTube channel, it's capital Keziah. I had to change my name because I'm trying to be more authentic, and I'm being myself, who I was made to be, Keziah. And that's my YouTube channel. And I don't really be on any. I'm gonna get into other socials, but right now, YouTube where it's at. That's my family right now. And that's my name on all my platforms. You can find any other platform that I'm going to add on in the future. It's going to be, I'm going to announce it on my YouTube because that's like my little diary.
All right. I love it. So y'all going to see that at the bottom in the description box below of where you can find her YouTube channel and subscribe and follow so that y'all can be encouraged and can relate and know that y'all are not alone and that y'all can see the walking example that she is of how to get through it, how to maintaining your strength that God gave you. All right. So thank y'all for watching the Ideal Woman show today. And remember, becoming your ideal self is a journey, not a destination. So keep growing and see ya.